Hello there once again, welcome to Rerun Videos and welcome back to Vauxhall Stadium. It's a little bit like Groundhog Day here today. It doesn't seem like yesterday that we were last here. Well, of course it was the day before yesterday, 48 hours ago to be precise. And if you've already watched your rerun video or DVD of the match against Wolverhampton, then you'll know that the Witches went down 10 points at home 2 nights ago to the rampant Wolverhampton Wolves on Thursday night. That sent shockwaves around the stadium and the community of Ipswich that could be heard for miles around, and as the collective thump as all the fans, management and riders came back down to earth after their barnstorming start to the season, the Wolves certainly did give the Witches a wake-up call on Thursday night. Quite simply, they just weren't at the races. The Wolves outgated them, outrode them, and at the end of the day you have to say that the best team on the night won. So we shall see how the Witches fare tonight against a high-flying Swindon side. But having said that, whilst we were losing at home to Wolverhampton on Thursday night, Swindon were losing at home to Bellevue, albeit on the last lap of the last race, courtesy of a Charlie Jader engine failure, gifting Bellevue the point that they needed to secure a 1-point victory over the Pebbly Beach Robins down there at Blunston on Thursday, as I said. The Witches have already been down to Wiltshire and lost by 12 points. That was 10 days ago now, and in a meeting that started very poorly for the Witches and their fans, me being one of them, as we were held up en route in the traffic chaos. Didn't help with anybody's preparations, the riders or the supporters alone, when we got down there, and it certainly showed on the track. But hopefully tonight everybody's here on time and everybody will be fit and keen and ready to get on with this Sky Bet Elite League Speedway match, which surely is going to be a cracker, as both teams are now tipped to be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. In fact, the Witches' odds have dropped somewhat since Thursday night against that defeat against Wolverhampton, now ranked as joint favourites with Poole to lift this year's Elite League Championship. Mike Smiley says he's glad the pressure is off, and who at the end of the day wants to be favourites in April when really the season doesn't end till September. That's when you need to run into form against all the other teams. Anyway, Witches still operating rider replacement tonight for Jesper B. Jensen. He did compete in the Danish Championships last night and finished a creditable 6th, but he's still far from fit, and spoke to John Louis this afternoon and really said he could do with another week or so off to regain full fitness. So rider replacement again for Jesper, and Swindon operating the same facility for David Ruud, who is competing in the Swedish Championships over the weekend. So no David Ruud tonight. But in Lee Adams they have a mighty spearhead, and he's completed in 5 Elite League fixtures so far this season, and he's won every single race. He's got 12 yet to be beaten. Will tonight be the night that Lee Adams colours for the first time in Elite League action this season? We'll soon find out, and the action comes up in a moment, but we'll go to the pits now for a chat with a couple of the riders. Here we are then in the pits before this Witches versus Robins clash, and with us Witches 7 tonight, Kim Jansen. Kim, the Witches here 2 nights ago lost against Wolverhampton. We've got to put that right quickly.
Yeah, we just put it behind us really, because it's a new fight today, and we are a good team, but we did really lose it last time. But I think we're going to be back this time.
Do you think the loss of Jesper on Thursday night had more of an effect on the team than we realised at the time?
Yes, of course it is. When somebody in the team is injured, it's always hard to get the team, going really good. But we're gonna keep up today. So hopefully we're gonna be the strongest team.
You won the Rider of the Night award, voted by the match sponsors in recognition of your efforts. And in Heat 14, you came down to earth with a bump, with or without Chris Neath's help. What was your take on that situation?
Oh, I think it was a fair situation. It's always tight in Speedway, and what can you say? So, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's the deal, really.
The supporters certainly backed you up, and they certainly gave Chris Neath the what we call in this country the bird afterwards, booing and jeering and hissing him. And yeah, we had to call security down to the pits in his interest, because the Ipswich fans are so passionate about their sport and they love to win.
Yeah, of course it's good that the audience is passionate, but I don't think it was the riders settled it up against the other, and he gives me one and I give him one, you know. So.
Swindon are a good team. We were there 10 days ago. You arrived like us on the supporters coach very near the start time. You had very little time to prepare. That affected you that night, didn't it?
Yeah, of course it did. It's the setup on the track is so important to have right, definitely on a slick track as Swindon. And but you know, today is the home track and everything is fit up. So.
And you were bobbing along, to coin the Robbins phrase, at Swindon, courtesy of Oliver Allen's back wheel that sort of took you rather wide in one race, and you did a few cartwheels along the track.
Yeah, he did, but I get him in the next race, so we're even.
You're quit. So that one's all sorted out. There's no recourse tonight then.
No, we will see. You never know.
All right. Well, okay. What bikes are starting to warm up? We'll let you carry on with your preparations. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Lee Adams joins us just ahead of this Robbins versus Witches clash, and unbeaten so far in an Elite League fixture for yourself. All the races you've taken the checkered flag. That's a mighty impressive start to the season.
Yeah, it's been going good, you know. The weird thing is I've been trying so many different bikes, I can't really believe it, you know. I've been trying to test a lot of stuff for the GPs, and it's not just one bike that I feel comfortable on, it's probably about 4, you know, where I've done it. So I'm pretty happy, you know. I just hope we can transfer that into the 1st of May.
And so whilst the Witches were losing at home on Thursday to Wolverhampton, you were doing the same to Bellevue at home, losing out cruelly in the last heat with Charlie's bike giving up the ghost.
It was unfortunate for everybody. You know, he dropped the chain just at the last corner, and we had a 5-1. But you know, we had a tactical. We shouldn't have been in that position at home at all. You know, and it's a little bit disappointing. We got a good team there, but they're just not riding to their full ability, really.
So you certainly look mighty impressive when Witches were there sort of 10 days ago and came away with a 12-point victory. So you'll be confident of collecting at least the bonus tonight.
It'll be tough. It'll be tough, you know. But obviously both teams got RR tonight, so we'll see what comes of that. It's not ideal for anybody, you know. But you know, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a tough match here tonight, and obviously the tacticals, if we do have to play one, we'll have to do it pretty shrewd.
So you're certainly the man setting the early pace in the Elite League this season, so everybody's looking to lower your colours, and so your battles with Scott Nichols tonight, although by his own admission he hasn't been in the best of form. Turn that round.
I guess so. Let's see what happens. You know, we'll take one race at a time, and you know, as I say, I'm not getting too high in the sky about it. Just, you know, everything's working good, and I'm happy on the bike. I feel as though I'm riding the bike probably better than ever. You know, and you know, as I say, I'm quite amazed with it myself because I'm trying so many different things, but it's all working.
You've been a bit nomadic in the last few seasons. You must be glad to be back at Swindon. I mean, it's a track that you love. You're a Swindon asset, and I mean, looking at you Thursday week ago, I mean, you just look so at home there. I feel very comfortable this year. The track's, you know, absolutely perfect now, and it was a big move to move away from Paul because I had a great year there, and obviously, you know, we won a lot, so that helped, but I also enjoyed it. You know, it was great to go down there every week with Neil and Matt, and the whole management down there is excellent. So it was a big move away, and you know, it's worked out really well. I'm really comfortable there, and you know, I think probably Scotty finds when you live in the same town as where you ride, you get a little bit more pressure, but you know, my shoulders are a lot wider now than what I was when I first rode there, so it's not so bad. And as Elite League new boys, Swindon already collected the first silverware, courtesy of yourself and Charlie in the Elite League pair, so that's giving you extra confidence for the season ahead. That was a big night for Swindon Speedway. Obviously, you know, Charlie hadn't really hit form, and a couple of meetings before, bang, he was on fire, so you know, to get one over all the other guys, it was nice, but we've got to concentrate on trying to get to the playoffs now. Well, indeed, and I mean, it doesn't really matter if you finish ahead of everybody else. I mean, the playoffs is where it matters. You've got to get in there to win it. Top 3, you know, you definitely need a home run, I think. So, you know, I think we got a team to finish in the top 3, but they're just not all firing, you know, and we're struggling a little bit down at reserve. We get against some good teams with great reserves that are, you know, fetching 20 points between them. And that makes it difficult, but we'll just keep battling away and see what comes of it all. OK, well, bikes are warming up, clamouring at people. Enjoy your evening.
Well, I wonder if Lou will make such a quick getaway in heat number 1. I suspect he well might. Really isn't quite brilliant form at the moment. We take a look at the lineup, starting with the Swindon Pebbly Beach. Robbins, number 7. We just got a glimpse of Ollie Allen at number 6. It is Glenn Cunningham at number 4. That is, all right, that's number 3. That is Steve Johnson. Charlie Jeter, he rides at number 4. Charlie, he rides at number 5. Ride replacement at number 4 for David Rood. as Charlie introduced to the crowd, say Steve Johnson, former Ipswich rider. He rides at number 3, and at number 2 it is Andy Smith. He's come in for Christoph Kasperjak, who's been out injured for a little while, the pole. And at number 1 it is the quite superb Lee Adams. Been absolutely immaculate this season, unbeaten in the Elite League. He started off with 5 quite superb maximums. Over to the Ipswich Evening Star, which is at number 7. It is Kim Jansen. At number 6, young Daniel King dumps, as he is known. He'll be wanting to put on a good performance here this evening, as well as the whole of the Ipswich team having gone down to that defeat here on Thursday just a couple of nights ago against Wolverhampton. At number 5, well, looked like Scotty Nichols was looking for some divine intervention then. I'm sure he won't need it. He's be doing his stuff out on track. Hasn't quite been the Scotty of 2003 as yet, but I'm sure it won't be too long coming. At number 4 is Chris Louis. We keep saying it, but he has made an absolutely superb return from those very serious injuries. At number 3, still ride replacement for Jesper Jensen, injured last week in Denmark. At number 2 it is Danny Bird, who's been riding quite brilliantly for Ipswich and Reading. And at number 1 it is Hans Andersen, who's had a superb start to his Ipswich career, as we get ready for heat number 1 then of this Elite League A fixture. Swindon, well, they've been going along pretty well this season, although they did suffer a loss at home to Bellevue on Thursday in a very dramatic finale. More on that later. As heat number 1's about to get underway, Hans Andersen, Danny Bird, Lee Adams, Andy Smith. Up fly the tapes and into that first turn. Well, it is Lee Adams, who he thought he might be quick out of the gate, just as he was after his injury, and he certainly is. He storms down the back straight out in front. Anderson pulls at a tear off. Andy Smith is in 3rd. Danny Bird in last place. So it is the Pebbley Beach Robins who are on a heat advantage in the first race. Busy time for them. They went to Arena Essex on Wednesday, and well, the meeting, it was in doubt for quite a while. They worked very hard on the track, but it did eventually go ahead, as Danny Bird, well, he's chasing hard after Andy Smith, but the 3 times British champion still holding off Danny at the moment. Swindon went to Arena. The meeting did eventually go ahead. They went down to a 6-point defeat with the immaculate Lee Adams scoring 18 points from 5 rides, coming in for a tactical ride in his 3rd outing, and he had to do that the following night as well at home against Bellevue. And again, he went on to score quite superb 18 points from 5 rides. And again, unfortunately for Swindon, they lost by a single point in the final race. Charlie Jeddah, well, he was in 2nd place coming out the final bend, which would have meant a match-winning 5-1 ride for him and Lee Adams, but he suffered engine failure, and Joe Screen and Kenneth Pierre were able to come through in the 2nd and 3rd ride on the line to give Bellevue what looked like an improbable victory entering that last lap. There's no improbable victory about heat number 1 though. Lee Adams wins it. 2nd place goes to Hans Andersen, 3rd spot to Andy Smith, and a very fast time indeed, the fastest of the season so far here at Vauxhall, 58.6 seconds. So Lee Adams, well, showing his intentions very early on. As we move on to heat number 2, and you can see we've moved our camera position once again. We've gone back to where we were right back in 1989 when we first started filming on the heath. Might be a slightly better position to bring you the action from. As we take a look at this reserves race, we've got Daniel King in red, in blue, Kim Jansen, Glenn Cunningham comes out in green, Ollie Allen yellow and black. A big crowd has turned up for this Saturday night fixture, a rare Saturday night at Vauxhall Heath as heat number 2, and it is Ollie Allen who's made a good start. He leads away from Daniel King coming through in the 2nd place. Him and Kim Jansen got in each other's way slightly, and Glenn Cunningham has come through into 3rd ahead of Jansen, but it is Ollie Allen who leads the way. He's had a bit of a torrid few days, although he did pretty well at Arena Essex with a couple of race wins, but struggled badly on Thursday. Only scored 1 point from 5 rides, but he's doing well enough here in heat number 2. He leads from Daniel King, having a good race in 2nd spot, and he's chasing hard after Allen as they go down that back straight. The crowd, well, the majority of them are urging on the youngster. They really have taken to young Daniel, just 16 years of age, or might be 17 years of age now. Got a big meeting coming up next week, the British Under-21 final, where he starts as one of the favourites, and he's making a big move on Ollie Allen. Can Allen hold on, or will Daniel King come through? Is it going to be a close run thing to the line? And well, it is just the Swindon, number 7, who takes the win ahead of a very fast finishing and very determined Daniel King. Third spot goes to Glenn Cunningham, 62 seconds exactly the winning time. Swindon, where they're trying to make amends for that loss at home on Thursday to Bellevue. They lead by 8 points to 4 after a couple. Ipswich, they really can't afford to lose 2 matches in a row at home. That's what's happening at the moment. As Ollie Allen wins the second race. We move on to heat number 3, couple of rider replacement outings. Danny Bird in red, Chris Louis in blue, Steve Johnson green. Glenn Cunningham takes his second ride in a row. Rider replacement in yellow and black out of the start. Cunningham's made an awful start, but his teammate Steve Johnson has not. He leads away, but here comes Danny Bird around the outside, and he's moved through in the first place. An excellent piece of riding by Danny and Johnson. Well, he's made a mistake on that top turn, and Chris Louis has been able to come through in the second place. So Ipswich, well, they could be moving back on level terms after 3 races, knocking out this 4-point deficit in one fell swoop as Danny Bird and Chris Louis lead the way. Steve Johnson, the former witch, he's struggling in heat number 3. But Danny Bird it is, who's hitting back very well from that last in his first ride. He looks like he's going to take the victory. And Chris Louis for a 5-1. Just to get the crowd in raptures, no doubt. Danny wins it with a wheelie. Chris Louis finishes second. Steve Johnson, after a bright start, he has to settle for third place with Glenn Cunningham, where he did make an awful gate, and he finished at the back by some distance. But what a great 5-1 there in heat number 3, 60.8 the winning time, as the home side level things up. And coming round on a lap of honour, Chris Louis after his paid win. As we move on to heat number 4 then, and this one, but it brings out a change. Mike Smiley's taken out Kim Janssen in this one and brings in Daniel King. He comes out in blue. In red we've got Scotty Nichols. In green it is Charlie Jeddah, and in yellow and black Ollie Allen. As heat number 4 about to get underway. Ollie Allen started with a good win in his first ride, although he was chased home by Daniel King. He venges the race when it's underway, and into that first turn when it is Scotty Nichols who's taken the lead. He's out in front from Charlie Jeddah coming around the outside of Ollie Allen. Daniel King is at the back, but it is Scotty Nichols who leads away. There's problems there for the 2 Swindon riders where they run into each other. Charlie Jeddah and Ollie Allen, well, that was very close team riding indeed. They both managed to stay on their bikes though, and it is still a 3-all, be our first of the meeting if it stays like this. And Daniel King, well, he's losing his way a bit at the back. Scotty Nichols, this is looking more like the hot shot Scott we know. Looks like he's going to open up with a victory. He leads the way as they start the final lap. Jeddah in second place. Ollie Allen is in third. That would have been a scary moment for the Swindon duo. But Scott Nichols, well, he's a long, long way out in front, and he's going to start off with a win. He takes the checkered flag. Second place goes to Jeddah. Third spot to Ollie Allen. A 3-all, 59.9 seconds the winning time. As Scott wins that one in emphatic style. 12 points apiece after 4 rides. Well, And well, you can see some of the crowd here down the back straight. They've turned out in their droves for the second time in 48 hours. Had a Saturday night meeting here a couple of years ago for the 50th anniversary meeting, and that went down very well indeed, with a huge crowd turning out for that one. And this is a very big crowd indeed as we get ready for heat number 5 then. And the lineup for this one, well, we've got Kim Janssen coming out, taking a ride, replacement outing in red. In blue it is Chris Louis, paid winning his first ride in green. We've got Lee Adams, who made a brilliant start in his first outing. And in yellow and black it is Andy Smith, who scored a point in heat number 1. Foxy, well, he's been going pretty well for Swindon, coming in for the injured pole. He scored at paid 8 at home against Bellevue on Thursday. Did struggle a bit at Arena with just a couple of points, but not one of his favourite tracks from years gone by. He's off at gate number 2. Off gate number 1, Kim Janssen. Chris Louis off gate 3. Lee Adams from the outside. 2 former World Under 21 champions doing battle here as heat number 5 gets underway. And well, it's Lee Adams, who really has made another quite brilliant start, who leads away, but Chris Louis is giving chase. And Louis trying to make a move around the outside. The Louis of old would have probably gone around the outside of him, but Chris Louis still very much finding his feet. Back in the Elite League as Lee Adams is out in front. And well, with the Grand Prix starting next Saturday, a week tonight, my money would most certainly be on that rider out in first place at the moment, Lee Adams, in the opening Grand Prix. So he really has been in quite magnificent form. This will be his 27th race unbeaten by an opponent. Really does ride this track so very well, and it looks like he's going to keep that run going. Chris Louis in second place. Kim Janssen does well to hold off Andy Smith, our second sheet 3 all in a row. And a winning time 59.8 seconds. So Swindon, well, they're doing well early on. Of course, they've got a 12-point advantage from the first leg, where Ipswich went down a couple of weeks ago. They're certainly looking good for the bonus point at the moment, if not an away win, although Ipswich, well, let's hope they can start firing on all cylinders. As we move on to heat number 6 then, 15 points apiece. Charlie Jeddah, he comes out in green off gate number 1, part of the Elite League Pairs Championship team, of course, alongside the rider who we've just seen, Lee Adams, winning heat number 5. So Charlie off gate number 1. Gate number 2 sees Danny Bird start off with a last place and then that good win in his second outing. Off gate number 3 we've got Glenn Cunningham, struggled a bit so far, just a point from his 2 rides. And from the outside it is Hans Anderson, second place behind Adams in heat 1. Race number 6 is about to get underway. Up fly the tapes and into that first turn. Well, it is the 2 Ipswich star, which is doing first and second as Jeddah. It's problems going into that turn. Hans Anderson has come through to lead the way from Danny Bird in second. Jeddah in third, Cunningham at the back, or in fact Cunningham now has moved through into third spot, following those problems for Charlie Jeddah, who really did have a quite magnificent season last year, riding for Swindon, of course, in the Premier League before they moved up to the top flight, and also for Oxford in the Elite League, where he did very well indeed. And well, I think it was the first for any rider. He took the Rider of the Season awards for both Swindon and Oxford. Certainly unheard of for many a year. We certainly had never heard that before. Hans Anderson, well, he leads away from Danny Bird in this one. Cunningham is in third place. Jeddah, he's at the back. That looks like the way it's going to stay. And well, that's a good 5-1 for the home side. Danny Bird just holds off Glenn Cunningham. A 5-1 then, the second one for Ipswich tonight. And that sees them move into the lead for the first time this evening by 4 points, 20 to 16. 61.2, that was Hans winning time. Now, well, congratulating each other after that maximum heat advantage. And coming round on a lap of honour. Yeah, well, what on earth is Hans Anderson up to? So the air fence is back this season. Well, this could be something a little bit special. No, thought he might have done a wheelie going down the stock car track, but not to be. Good times though, seem to be returning to Vauxhall. They were a bit quiet here on Thursday in that defeat by Wolves, but Wolverhampton, well, there's no disputing it, they certainly were the better team on the night, and a deserved win for them as we come on to heat number 7. 20 points to Ipswich, 16 to Swindon. This race where it sees Scotty Nichols coming out off gate number 1, looked good in his first ride, then with Steve Johnson off gate number 2. Daniel King is off gate number 3, and ride replacement Ollie Allen off gate number 4. Ollie has already beaten Daniel a couple of times. Heat number 7 gets underway. Graham Reed releases the tapes and into that first turn where it is Scotty Nichols and young Daniel King who lead the way. Here comes Daniel around the outside, and a terrific move there as Daniel's moved through in the first place. Scotty Nichols, well, I'm sure he's going to try and shepherd home his young teammate when they get a bit close there. But Daniel Willie's still leading the way. Steve Johnson is in third place with Ollie Allen at the back, and this will be a tremendous 5-1 for Ipswich. They lead by 4 points, but Scotty Nichols, we can remember, he was a 16-year-old rider in the Ipswich side, and Daniel Willie's not much older than him at the moment, and Scotty Willie was shepherded by some of the senior members several times, but he's doing his job here for his own young teammate. As Steve Johnson, well, he's making a big move to find a way past Daniel King. He still leads the way. Scotty Nichols is doing a tremendous job in second place. Johnson, well, I don't think he's going to be able to get to these two riders now. It's going to be a fantastic 5-1 in heat number 7. It's a bring the house down as Daniel King, well, he takes the win. Scotty Nichols finishes second. Third place goes to Steve Johnson. And, well, that was quite tremendous team riding by Scotty Nichols. Daniel King, well, just listen to the applause for the pair of these riders. A fantastic 5-1 in heat 7 as Ipswich double their lead to 8. And the winning time 61.6 seconds, and that really was quite fantastic. And well deserved lap of honour around the stock car track. And well, just look at the reaction, fantastic stuff from Daniel King, and most certainly Scotty Nichols, who helped him to that magnificent 5-1. As we move on to heat number 8 then, and well, the home side leading by 8 points, but Adam Roster, well, he's resisted the temptation to bring out one of his riders for a tactical ride in this one. We're going as per programme. Danny Bird comes out in red, Kim Janssen is in blue, in green it is Andy Smith, in yellow and black Ollie Allen, just finished last in his previous ride. He's having a busy night so far. Heat 8 gets underway and into that first turn, and well, it is the Ipswich pair once more who lead the way, and there's problems there for the two Swindon riders as Ollie Allen and Andy Smith, well, they both come down, and we'll take another look at this one going into that first turn, and you can see here as the two number 7s collide. That is Kim Janssen and Ollie Allen, and Andy Smith, we had nowhere to go, bailing out into the air fence. You can see us back in operation. It was against Wolves, and it is tonight as well. And we're good to see Ollie back to his feet. He has been in the wars a little bit of late as the young Englishman, but he's able to take his place in the rerun. So Janssen, who was one of the reasons that crash took place, he comes out off gate number 1, gate number 2, sees Ollie Allen. Danny Bird made a good start, he's off 3, Andy Smith from the outside. Heat number 8 gets underway, second time of asking, and again it is the Ipswich pair who lead the way. Danny Bird and Kim Janssen are in first and second. Andy Smith is in third with Ollie Allen. Well, he's relegated to the back once more, so it's a superb mid-meeting spell for Ipswich as Danny Bird's heading towards his second win of the meeting. Kim Janssen holding off Andy Smith at the moment. So Ipswich, they trail by 4 points after a couple of races. They're 8 points up now. They could be moving 12 in front in a very short space of time, and this would see them go level on aggregate for the bonus point. Certainly wouldn't have thought they've been chasing for that early on in the meeting, but they've shown a lot of spirit here as they come around and start the final lap. And it is Danny Bird who leads the way from Kim Janssen in second. Third spot it is Andy Smith. Ollie Allen trailing off. Perhaps that fall in the first stage of this race affected him. As the pair get a big 5-1 in heat number 8, the second in a row for the home side. Tremendous riding by Danny and Kim, 60.7 the winning time. And Ipswich taking control now, 12 points in front on the night. Level on aggregate for the bonus point with 7 heats remaining. And a pair of them coming round to receive the applause, and so they should. Kim Janssen has got going after a slowish start. Some of the crowd down on the home straight. Well, very much a family sport, of course. They even brought the dog out with them. The crowds will have flocked back to Vauxhall Heath, and that's such a great sight to see after last season's problems, where it really just didn't happen for Ipswich. Finished at Wooden Spooners for the first time ever. And oh dear, that's a bit strong for the youngster. Hopefully he won't have too many of those this evening. Looks like one of those Alco Pop drinks. Whoa, good shot. As we get ready for heat number 9 and the lineup for this one, Ipswich leading by 30 points to 18. We've got Kim Janssen coming out in red, ride replacement, his second race in a row. In blue off gate number 1, it is Chris Louis, started off well, paid 5 from his first 2 rides. Charlie Jeddah, he comes out off gate number 3, 3 points, or rather 2 points from his first couple of outings, ran a last in his previous outing. And Glenn Cunningham, he comes out in yellow and black off gate number 2. Couple of points for Glenn so far. So heat number 9 then, Ipswich having taken control of this meeting. John Fitch tries to get the riders at the start line. Looks like we'll be underway shortly. As heat number 9, up fly the tapes and into that first bend, but it is the rider in blue, that is Chris Louis, who's made the start. Jeddah comes around the outside, he moves through in the first place with Kim Janssen back in third place. Glenn Cunningham missed out at the start. He's in last spot, but it is Jeddah who leads the way, showing his undoubted class here. The Swindon heat leader, he's out in front. Chris Louis giving chase in second place as they come around a complete lap. Number 2, Louis on the inside line, but Jeddah will hold him off at the moment. A couple of laps to go. It's a 3-all with Janssen in third ahead of Glenn Cunningham, but Chris Louis, well, he's chasing hard. He gets some lift going down into that third turn, but it is still the Swindon rider who leads the way, and he looks a little bit worried because he's having a look around to see what's going on behind him. And well, he could see that Chris Louis was breathing down his neck, and in fact Louis has done a fantastic move around the outside of Jeddah, and he's moved through in the first place. He was threatening to do that, and he's taken the victory in brilliant style. Jeddah disappointed with that, but he's against the Vauxhall legend that is Chris Louis. Third place goes to Kim Janssen, a fantastic 4-2 for Ipswich. Well done to Chris, and they now move 14 points in front. 60.7, Chris's winning time. That really was a fantastic ride by the Ipswich man. And showing exactly why he has returned to the saddle. And well, coming round on a lap of honour, and so he should, alongside Kim. A 4-2 for Ipswich then. And they really are starting to take the Robins apart at the moment. They now lead on aggregate for that bonus point. As we get ready for heat number 10 then, and this one, well, it sees Hans Andersen coming out in red. He's started off well, 5 points from his first 2 rides. In blue it is Danny Bird, he's also got going well after last in his first outing. Steve Johnson is in green, couple of third places for John O. And Ollie Allen, well, he gets another outing in yellow and black. Struggled in his last couple of rides as Ollie. He's in yellow and black, so Ipswich leading by 34 points to 20. As we settle for heat number 10. Graham Reeve, he released the tapes and into that first turn. Well, it is the fast gaining Ipswich pair once again. They really have got their gating heads on mid-match. And it's Hans Andersen that leads the way, with Steve Johnson coming through in the second place ahead of Danny Bird. But it is still a heat advantage for the home side then, as they complete the opening lap. It's a 4-2 for the Evening Star Witches, as Bird, well, he's chasing hard after Steve Johnson now, as they go into that third turn. And in fact, Danny has come through into second place. Some more tremendous riding by the Ipswich riders here tonight, and it means that it's another 5-1 for the home side, and this will see them move 18 points in front. What a terrific spell by them, as Hans Andersen leads the way. Danny Bird showing plenty of aggression to move through in the second place. Steve Johnson, the former witch, he's only going to get a point in third. It's going to be another big 5-1 for the home side then, and well, surely they got this match practically sewn up now, as Hans and Danny, well, that was quite tremendous. 5-1 in heat number 10, 18 points the lead. 61 seconds the winning time. As they come round to receive the applause, fully deserved again. So they really have ridden very, very well indeed, Ipswich, after a bit of a shaky start the first couple of races, but they've been quite tremendous from heat number 6 on. They've had 4 5-1s and a 4-2 in 5 races. That really is an excellent performance, as Hans celebrates with one of his wheelies. Danny not too far behind him. As we move on to heat number 11, this one it sees Scotty Nichols coming out in red. In blue we got Daniel King. In green we got Lee Adams, and he's taken a tactical ride in this one, so his points will count double. Yellow and black sees Andy Smith, so Alan Roster, the team manager, new Coke motor of course at Swindon. He was absolutely delighted with the Robins victory in the Elite League pairs. Very emotional moment for Roscoe. Now he's brought out one of those top men in heat number 11 for a tactical ride. He's looked quite superb so far. No coincidence that they haven't won a race since Lee took victory in heat number 5, and he's leading the way here in heat number 11 against one of his arch rivals, Scotty Nichols in second place. Third spot is Andy Smith with Daniel King at the back, and well, it's a 7-2 for Swindon at the moment, with Lee Adams, this is the third time in a row that he's been brought out as a tactical ride in his third outing, and it looks as if for the third time in a row he's going to take the full 16 points. So 6 points. He's perhaps on his way to another 18-pointer here this evening. He leads away. A couple of laps gone. What a superb action that he has got. Here is the ultimate armchair style. Immaculate rider. Multi-times Australian champion. 7 times he's won the title. Didn't win it this season. That went to Ryan Sullivan the first time they staged it over 3 rounds. He finished in second place overall, but he's certainly not second place here this evening. He wins heat number 11 and scores 6 points for his side. Scotty Nichols finishes second, Andy Smith third. Daniel King, well, not surprised, a little bit outpaced in that one. 59.7, another quick time for the Swindon captain. And that does reduce the deficit to 13 points on the night, with 1 point separating the two teams on aggregate. As we move on to heat number 12 then, and Alan Roster, well, he's up to his tricks again. This time he brings out Steve Johnson for a tactical ride. This rule brought in to make matches closer, and it certainly seems to be having that effect. Early season results show. We'll give you the lineup for this one. We've got Aldi Allen coming out to replace Glenn Cunningham off gate number 1. Off gate number 2, it is Chris Louis, rider replacement outing for him. A fantastic win in his last outing against Charlie Jeddah. Off gate number 3, we've got Steve Johnson. He takes a tactical ride, and from the outside it is Kim Jansen, who's doing pretty well this evening. So heat number 12, will it work again for Roscoe? He would probably be on Chris Louis in this one, but after the way he rode in his last ride, Steve Johnson, he only had 3 third places so far, so not really showing too much form today. Let's see what happens. Heat number 12, as the tapes fly up and into that turn. Well, it is the rider in yellow and black, it's Holly Allen, who's made a good start, and Steve Johnson has come through in the first place. Chris Louis got caught in the traffic. He's back in third. Kim Jansen at the back. This is an 8-1 for Swindon. This is not good news for Ipswich, but Louis has pulled his way through into second place, but it's still a 7-2 for the visitors then, just as it was in heat number 11. And it's Chris Louis, well, he's got to try and relegate Steve Johnson in the second place, and he's certainly closing in a couple of laps gone. He's got the bit between his teeth. Kim Jansen, well, he's still at the back, but chasing hard after Ollie Allen. Meanwhile, Chris Louis chasing Steve Johnson, who's on double points, remember, as they come around to start the final lap. Jono looks like he's going to perhaps take the victory. Kim Jansen out of shot, but he has found a way past Ollie Allen. That's good news for Ipswich. They see to turn a 7-2 into a 6-3, but it's going to be Steve Johnson who takes it. But it was Steve Johnson that did just hold on for a victory and 6 points. Chris Louis a fight in second. Third spot goes to Jansen. 61.5 the winning time. And well, that's cut the deficit now to 10 points with 3 races remaining. So still Ipswich looking favourites to take this match, but they do only lead by, they trail now by a couple on aggregate. As we get ready for heat number 13, a big race, this one coming up. We've got Hans Anderson coming out in red off gate number 1. Off gate number 2, it is the immaculate Lee Adams, who's had 28 races without losing to an opponent. It's been a quite remarkable start by the Milduran. Gate number 3 sees Scotty Nichols, and from the outside it is Charlie Jeddah. Scotty, well, he's only suffered the 1 defeat. That was in heat 11 against, you guessed it, Lee Adams. Jeddah, he's had a couple of second places. Hans Anderson a second and a couple of victories, and they're taking their time coming up to the start line for this one. Big race coming up. A lot of time spent psyching themselves up for this one. Just waiting for Scotty Nichols now to come up to the start line. They know how much it means for both sides this heat. Race number 13 then. It's about to get underway at last. As Graham Reevely puts the green light on and the tapes fly up and going into that first turn. Hans Anderson has made a good start with Scotty Nichols and Lee Adams, where the two riders collide there going into that first turn. Adams is down and so is Scotty Nichols, and Nichols, well, he looks as if he may have taken a bit of an injury there. Let's take another look going into that first turn. And you can see here as Scotty, well, he just catches the back end of Lee Adams' machine, and the two tangle, both come down. Fortunately, Charlie Jetta managed to avoid the pair of them, but well, Scotty suffering a bit of a knee injury knock there, it seems. Tommy Nichols, father of Scotty, of course, he's coming out to see how he is, and well, he is able to make it out for the rerun. This is it, brief start of heat number 13, and into that first turn, well, it is the rider in red, that is Hans Anderson, who made the start. Lee Adams for once has not. Scotty Nichols, a determined ride by him, and he's come through in the second place to join his teammate. Lee Adams, well, that's a big surprise, back in third. Jeddah at the back, and is Adams going to suffer his first defeat in 29 races since the start of the Elite League season for 2004? It could be happening, because Hans Anderson and Scott Nichols lead the way, and this will sew the match up for Ipswich, and also will give them a great chance of the bonus point. And it really has been a fantastic display by Ipswich here this evening, as Adams, well, he's chasing hard after Scotty Nichols. Hans Anderson still leads the way. Jeddah, well, he's tailed off at the back. All eyes are on the battle for second place, though, between Scotty and Lee Adams. It could be a 5-1 for Ipswich to give them the match as they go down the back straight for the final time. I don't think Adams is going to get to Nichols. Hans Anderson is going to get his second, or his third win in a row. Fantastic effort by him, and a great ride by Scotty Nichols, getting himself off the floor to get a paid victory, and that certainly has lit the crowd up here. A massive 5-1. That's the match shown up for Ipswich, and well, they've got a good chance of collecting the bonus point now. The first defeat of the night for Lee Adams, the first defeat, in fact, of the 2004 campaign here in Britain. A fantastic 5-1 for the home side. The match is won, and well, once again they're raising the roof. They would do if there was one here on the Heath. And well, no wonder Anderson coming round on the lap of honour. A brilliant ride by him, and Scotty, that's his third win in a row. So you cannot fault the Ipswich side at all here this evening. They really have done superbly well. Shows the character of the team coming back from that heavy defeat here against Wolves just 48 hours ago. And again, another great 5-1 for the home side. That's their sixth of the meeting. Magda Louis there offering her congratulations as we come on to heat number 14. And can the bonus point be collected in this one? We've got Chris Louis coming out in red. He's had another good meeting. In blue it is Kim Janssen replacing Daniel King. He's done well tonight, as is Daniel, of course. In green it is Andy Smith, ride replacement out in. Ollie Allen comes out in yellow and black. Heat 14. Ipswich leading by a couple of points on aggregate, having already sewn the match up as the race gets underway. Lewis will put the seal on the first. They're on the foul as Lewis, Ollie Allen. It's been a very last before this one. It looks like it could be another one, unfortunately for him and the Pebbly Beach Robins, but for Ipswich it really has been probably their best team performance of the season, as Chris Louis and Kim Janssen lead the way. Andy Smith giving chase but not really close enough. A lap to go, and Louis, he's going to collect his second win of the meeting. Kim Janssen joining him for a 5-1 and a bonus point winning 5-1 of that. Andy Smith still giving chase, but he's not going to get to him. A big 5-1 again. Many congratulations to the Ipswich duo. a 5-1 to seal the bonus point as well. An 18-point lead, 1 heat remaining, 62.1 the winning time. So all have been quite brilliant here this evening. And again, ran on the stock car track to receive the applause. Saturday night seemed to agree with Ipswich, as they're on their way to their biggest home win of the season. JL in the foreground there, he must be absolutely delighted. He's at the back, he started with a last in heat number 1 and well, unfortunately could be finished with 1 in heat number 15, but he's done very well to get a ride in this nominated heat. As they come round to complete lap number 2 then, and it's normal service being resumed with Lee Adams held in front. A 10-1 shot for the World Championship in 2004, and that certainly seems very, very good odds indeed for the world number 4. He has underperformed somewhat on the Grand Prix stage over the years, but well, he's just starting to mature on the international scene. I'm not sure whether it was nerves, whatever, something seemed to get to Lee in the very, very big meetings, but I think he's going to cope this year. He wins heat number 15 in brilliant style. Second place goes to Anderson. Third spot to Steve Johnson. A 4-2 for the visitors. And Ipswich, well, they run out victors by 56 points to 40. Collect the bonus point as well, as Adams makes his way back to the pit. 61.1 the winning time. We give you tonight's scorers, starting with the Pebbly Beach Robins. Lee scored 16 points from his 6 rides. A brilliant performance, just the 1 defeat. Andy Smith battled hard, 4 points from his 5 rides. Steve Johnson, 10 points, 6 of those came in his 4th outing. Bit of a surprise, 4 third places. Other than that, Charlie Jeddah finished with 4 points. Would have hoped for more. Glenn Cunningham a couple. Ollie Allen, he finished with 4 and 1, but they did come from 7 outings as Hans Anderson goes through his repertoire. He scored a magnificent 13 points, just a defeat in heat number 1 and 15 for him. 3 wins packaged in between those. Danny Bird, he also had a great night's work. Paid 12 from his 6 rides. Chris Louis, he did magnificently also, 12 and 1 from his 5 outings. Was more like the Louis of old here this evening. Scotty Nichols also did very, very well, 9 and 2, just dropping 1 point to Lee Adams in his 3rd outing. Got his revenge, of course, in heat 13. Daniel King did very, very well indeed, including his first win, I think that was, in the Elite League in Heat 7. What a great performance that was by Scotty to team ride him home for that 5-1. 5 points for Dumps. And Kim Janssen, well, he also had another good night, 7 and 4 bonus from 6 rides, and they are heroes one and all here this evening. Ipswich, a 56-40 victory. Chris Louis looks absolutely delighted, and so he should, as do the rest of the team. And well, they're going to go round and collect their very well-deserved congratulations from this big crowd here this evening, and we'll say well done to Ipswich, a great, great team performance. And as they go around the lap of honour, we'll leave the last words to Kevin, who he's got down in the pits.
Here we are then, ahead at the end of this Robins versus Witches, and the Witches have sent the Robins bobbing back to Wiltshire. 56 points to 40, contributing 13 of those. Hans Anderson, great night.
Yeah, it's a good night.
No, great night. Good night.
Oh, great.
What's a bloody good night going to be then?
First rider beat Lee Adams of the year, so it can't be too bad, can it?
I was going to say that. I mean, coming into this, had 5 Elite League matches, unbeaten in all of those. So you and Scott together were the ones to lower his colours for the first time.
Yeah, but he's not been to Foxhole then.
Yeah, well, no, and he's pretty mean round here like he is at all tracks, but talking to your manager ahead of that race, and he sort of said he knows you've got the ability to beat him, and he was very keen to watch you take him on.
Yeah, it's good. Like this year, I think I progressed even more from last year. I can blend in with the big boys, but I'm taking it easy because, like, look at them, they're like nearly 10 years older than me, so I still got a long future in front of me. But it's a good confidence boost to like already be up with him. So hopefully we can carry on from there.
So we dug deep without Jesper here, and one of the highlights, young Daniel King in reserve getting his first Vauxhall race win, a highly memorable moment for him.
Yeah, I remember when I was myself a young kiddie in the team, and like if everyone's doing well in the team, it's going to lift everyone right up, and like everyone today was very on fire. If you look at the scores, everyone had massive scores, so I think
you're right in what you say. I mean, people are already pointing at the teams that aren't doing so well and saying their reserve should be replaced. But there's a lot to be said that a reserve riding in a successful team is going to be taken along with that success.
Yeah, like I reckon the reserves play a big part in winning the matches. Like we struggle sometimes as far as reserves that haven't scored many points because it's a bit more pressure on like the heat leaders. And to be fair, we can't carry the team all the time, and it's just great today, like everyone banging the points in. So yeah, it's good.
And we needed it after Thursday, didn't we? Everybody's heads dropped slightly, but I think you all had a bit of a chat before the meeting and rallied round.
I think we already lost the meeting before we began on Thursday because like everyone, the shoulder was down, the head was down, everything. There's not really no team spirit in the pits on Thursday. I don't know why, but today everyone was like just walking around cheerful and everything. So yeah, it's good.
Good, okay, well we know you're busy and a lot of people want to clamour for you, the other journalists, so well done, we'll see you on Monday.
Yep.
Cheers, there we go, that's Hans Anderson. And that went almost to perfection, so maybe next time we speak to him we'll get something for the crashes and cock-ups, and I don't know what he means about those other videos, honest. But that's it, the Witches winning by 16, and more importantly they get the bonus point as well, having lost at Swindon by 12. So 3 Sky Bet Elite Speedway League points here for the Witches tonight. Great stuff, I think you'll agree. And hopefully Mick's new vantage point just on the top of the first bend worked well for you. And because as you may or may not know, he fell off the grandstand on Monday. But that we didn't capture that, but we wish he had done. That would have been quite funny. But Mick's all right, he's behind the camera, aren't you, Mick? Yeah, Mick's okay. And so we're all right, and we'll see you Bank Holiday Monday when another afternoon meeting, and it's our near neighbours from up the A12, the Arena Essex Hammers in town, Mark Loram et al. So they'll be here, so why don't you join us on Rerun Video. Goodbye.